What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a Discord Pi tutorial. Discord Pi is used to make bots in Discord. So that's what we're going to be working on, and let's just go ahead and jump into it. So first of all, as one does when they're trying to install things, they go to the documentation, and lo and behold, this is not what you want. So currently the Discord Pi is kind of it's like almost in two main areas or two versions. You know, it's kind of like the split with Python. You've got Discord Pi 1.0 and beyond, and then you've got the 0.16 right now. And you want, at least I was after 1.0. So I came here to the 1.0 docs, and it says, hey, just install it this way. Nope, that installs 0.16. So then I soon find myself on discord-rewrite from PyPy. Great, so I install that. But I hit some sort of weird error there and I couldn't quite figure it out. So after some digging around there, couldn't quite solve that problem. So then I came to the Discord, I came to the GitHub, and I just cloned the GitHub or downloaded the zip and then installed it. Okay, so that's what I'm just going to recommend that you guys do. So it's just this GitHub. I keep trying to call it Discord. I'll put a link in the description. Usually a link to the text-based version of the tutorial. Either the text-based version of the tutorial will be in there, which has all the links, or I'll put these links. If I forget one of those two, just yell at me and I'll throw them in there. Otherwise, yeah, so this is the official Discord Pi, but under the rewrite tree. So this is how you will get 1.0. So go ahead and clone or download. Do a pip install -r the requirements.txt. It's only two things. It's AIO HTTP and WebSockets. I believe both of these will be installable via pip, no problem, on Linux, Windows, Mac, whatever. If you have a problem with AIO HTTP on Windows, don't forget unofficial Windows binaries exists. And yeah, that should be everything. Also note, this is only apparently stable on 3.4 and 3.5. I've been using it on 3.6, no problem. I will wager, or I guess I can't wager, but I can't remember if WebSockets is like fixed on 3.7 yet, so that might cause trouble, but feel free to try it on 3.7 if you want. I'm going to be on 3.6 for now. So once you have all that, once you think you've got it, like once you've installed the requirements, then it's just a python setup.py install, right? So whenever you think you've done all those things, go ahead and run Python 3.6, do an import discord, and then check the version, discord.version. Make sure you're on the same version as me. If you're not, some of the things are going to be a little different. If you're having any problems with the install, you can join our Discord, discord.gg/syntax. But yeah, should be pretty simple. Just clone pip install -r requirements.txt, python setup.py, install. Done. So once you have that, now we're ready to start setting up the bot itself. So the first thing that we need is to create an application, because a bot needs an application. Also, I'm kind of assuming you all have like a Discord server that you want to use this in. If you don't, you'll need to like make your own Discord server and stuff too. So just make a Discord account, and then when you open up, Discord, there should be like a little thing. I don't know if I can bring mine over or not. Let's see. It says streamer mode enabled, so maybe it'll be safe. Anyway. Like right here, the little button, go ahead and click that and you can make your own server. So once you've done that, we're going to head to the discordapp.com/developers/applications. You probably won't have anything here. I've got a couple already, but you'll click on create an application. So we click on that. We'll call this tutorial bot. We don't need to know the client secret, but we do want to know the client ID. So go ahead and copy that, save that for a little later, and we'll hit Save Changes. While I've got that copied, I'm just going to come over here, paste that in. That's the ID. I probably should write ID before I forget what that was. Then what we're going to do is go to Bot, and we'll go Add a Bot. Yes, do it. A wild bot has appeared. Okay, so now what we're going to do is tutorial bot is fine. Then what we do need is the token. So I'm going to go ahead and click copy on the token. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it. I hope to remember to delete this bot. But anyways, please don't use the token if I forget. Public bot. So whether or not everyone else can add the bot, that's fine. We'll leave that. And then coming on down here, all the permissions. So, depending on what you want your bot to be able to do, you might want to pick these. This is not set in stone, though. You can change it later. So for now, mainly I want to be able to definitely send messages, read message history. Honestly, can't remember what manage messages is. I don't know if that's like the bot could delete messages, possibly. That might be it. Anyway, add reactions, stuff like that. I don't know. But mainly right now, let's send messages and read message history. The biggest one is read message history. But if you want to be able to interact with it, probably send messages. Whenever you're done with that, that'll give you a permissions integer. So you can go ahead and copy that. Basically what's going to happen is it's going to create a role specific to your bot. So later you can go in and add or change permissions as you want. But I'm going to go ahead and save that permissions thing too. Whoops. Okay, so once we have that, it should be all saved. Tutorial bot, I think we're ready to go. So the next thing we want to do is the following URL. I'm just going to copy it, come over here. That was our permissions in. This is the URL we're going to use. So this is just to authorize a specific client on your server, and this would be the same thing someone else might use if they wanted to use your bot. So first we have the permission integer, so we just paste that in, and then the ID. I'm going to copy that, and then we paste that in right here, and now you're ready to invite the actual bot. Now here it is. Let me just paste that in real quick. Okay, tutorial bot. Add the bot to your server. Tells you what the permissions will be. Looks good. So let's go ahead. Oh wait, we got to pick a server. Syntax. We'll do authorize. I am not a robot. Just trying to add one. Authorized. Okay, so once we've got that authorized, we're ready to actually write a bot. So, I think I'm going to close that, and we can just come right here. I'm going to leave this stuff up just in case. I'm going to need it in a minute anyways. And let's actually start to write. So first of all, we're going to import Discord because we are making a Discord bot. The next thing is client equals discord.client. That just kind of initiates the client for us. And then now there's kind of two main ways that you can use Discord Pi. One is with just straight object-oriented programming. You can kind of create your client object and do things there. Or you can use wrappers and functions and stuff. And so I'm going to use the wrappers. So first of all, you can do @client.event. And basically what this is it's just a event decorator / wrapper. If you don't know much about those, you can check out pythonprogramming.net, search for decorator. Let me pull this over. Whoops, maybe. Yeah. And you can go click on that decorators Python tutorial and you can learn a bunch about decorators if you wish. So, okay, whoops. Gosh. Okay, got everything under control. So that's going to be our wrapper here. So basically, it's anytime some sort of event is about to occur. What do we want to do? So first, we're going to do async define on ready, and this is basically just This is just going to be called one time. Yeah, one time when the bot is fully connected basically to the actual server itself. So all we're going to say here is just print. We'll print an F string, and we'll just say we have logged in as, and then client.user, and that'll just output who we've connected as. So then we can come down here and we can actually say client.run, and then we want to run based on this token. So I'm going to copy this, paste, and we could just make sure everything's working up to this point. So I'm just going to run that real quick and see if it connects. We've logged in as tutorial bot. And I think just for further testing, I'm going to come down to testing stuff. And let's see, edit that channel. We'll go to permissions, role, tutorial bot. So we'll add him, and then read messages, send messages, and where's the message history? This one always gets me. Like read messages, and you really need to have read message history. Whatever that's about. Okay, so there's tutorial bot. They are actually already in here. So hopefully my other bot isn't going to get in the way. Anyway, so the connection worked. We're logged in. Great. So now what we want to do is maybe actually have handle for certain events that actually occur. So we're going to say yet another @client.event. And this one, we'll just say async define on message. And then what gets passed here is just any old message. And then we can print. And then there's like all kinds of stuff that come from the message. You've got message.channel. You definitely want to know which channel it was set in. That way, if you want to reply, you have to reply back to that. Ideally you're going to reply back to that same channel, message channel. And then what I'm going to do is just do this like channel, probably like these 3 things, or 4 rather. Then we'll do author. And then there's author.name. So one of these will just be their nickname. The other one is the actual real screen name with like the number on it and stuff. And then message.content for the actual message itself. So let's just rerun that one more time. And then this should read from all channels, but just in case nobody says anything while it's running, I'll just say something in this chat. So like for example, we'll do hi there. And so as you can see in the testing stuff channel, Centex number 777 says hi there basically. Okay, easy enough. So now, not only can, like at this point, we're just kind of reading things. We're not actually doing anything. So if you wanted, you could do stuff based on what people say. So a lot of times people have, certain commands. So you might look for an exclamation mark and then some sort of command like kick and then someone's username, for example, or their nickname. So you could do stuff like that. Probably kick is not really useful because you can do that already pretty simply. But anyways, just as an idea, you can use exclamation mark, but you could use anything you want. But for example, one thing that we could do is something like this. Like, so we could say if hi there in message.content. I think we would actually be able to get away with this. We'll test this real quick, but I can't remember if I have to convert that to a string or not. I think it should be a string, but we'll see. If hi there in message.content.lower, let's just make sure, handle both cases. What do we want to do? Well, what we could say is we could have the bot like reply back. So we could await and then message channel dot send hi, like that. So let's go ahead and run that again. Wait for it. Okay. And then I can just say hi there again. And you can see here that the tutorial bot replied again. But if I don't say hi there and I just say, how's it going? Tutorial bot doesn't say anything, right? Because we've got some really, really advanced logic there. Okay, so that's all for this tutorial. I'll try to make that as short and quick as possible. For me, I'm going to have to remember to delete this token immediately. But that's really all I want to show here. Like I said, yeah, there's so much here that you can do. Like you can do anything. Like the first bot I made it to change users' nicknames. Like, so you can like change people's like display name basically, and anytime they try to change it back, it just immediately changed it back again. So I'm a really great Discord host. By the way, join my Discord, discord.gg/Centex. But there's just like so much that you could have it automatically create emojis. You could have it, do reactions, stuff like that, play files. It can just do so much. That even though I'm going to like create a bot with this, we're just going to do so little of what's available here. I do just wish their documentation, like this is pretty full documentation in terms of what's available, but their documentation for like getting started is like a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. So anyways, that's all for now. stay tuned for a more interesting bot. I'd like to have the bot search pythonprogramming.net for like tutorials, stuff like that, among doing some other typical tasks that I wind up doing a lot in discord.py. So quick shout out to my recent channel members. We've got Max, Dinesh Kumar, Angel Fontalvo, Martin Larson, and Zechariah Vickers. Thank you guys very much for your support. I really enjoy my job, and you guys make it possible, so thanks again. So that's all for now. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them below or join the Discord and get your nick changed. Till next time.